I normally come out 1-2 paces. I usually leave a 2-pace runway for a runaway horse if he decides not to go over. And then from there, I would go 1, 2, 3 to, so this one, I'm gonna have to move in a little bit. The reason I go the 3 paces there is because when I put my wings up, I come out straight with the wing like this, then it's roughly a 9 foot open. I usually go 3 paces to make the opening of the wing. That's where I get the other 3 paces here. It kind of makes sense after you see it. But this I'm gonna have to move in a little bit because I want these to be directly straight with the other set of jumps. Okay. Yeah, you're somewhere in there. We'll line it up and get this one straight so we don't. Okay, you just line up these, 2 holes here, bolt through. You have 2 washers. 1 washer is okay, 2 is better if you have enough, just to make it stronger when you tighten it. This end also, 2 washers.
Let me see that bar.
And then you basically we finger tighten it so you're set there, and once we get one through in the back, we do the same thing, and then we try to somewhat tighten together. It's not an exact science, but you try and go evenly as you can, and we're ready to roll. As you tighten it, it pulls them nice and tight together. You make sure that there you go. The finished product, this should be touching. It should be kissing together here. Tighter, it just gives you less room for play, any problems. These simply go in the bottom of each jump. You have your holes at the leg. In the middle where they join together, you're always going to have 2, because you have 1 for each end of your jump. So wherever they bolt together, you always remember there's 2 to be put in. Very important, again, can't stress enough, minimum of 2 feet sticking out to the back. Very important to remember, the 2 feet. Not to repeat myself, but very important. And basically, that's that. The other thing to remember when you're using these pipe, it's always good. These happen to be painted a little orange. You should always have them painted a bright color. It's very easy to set them down, lose them in the grass. You'd be surprised how you walk away, come back, and you can't find them, and it's a danger to the horse. Actually, I can just like that, and they just fit right there like that, and right in. Again, 2 feet, very important. When you lay out your tarp, you want to lay it to where you have the wider, I should say, white strip closest to your jump. What we do normally is we flip this over here. So now you want to line it up and you want to split the difference on the length. You'll have roughly maybe 6 inches on each end. You try and center it, the tarp on the jump. It's usually maybe a 6-inch overlap. You just kind of eyeball it, and now what we do is we pre-cut rope, and we'll go along, as you'll see, and pre-tie each eyelet. And you want to put rope in every one. Don't skip. Go to every eyelet down and the bottom. The little things make it easier when you're putting them together and taking it apart. Nah, me. Now the tarp is pretty much prepped. Again, you try and have equal distance on each end, roughly 6 inches, but you want to have it centered so that when you fold up the ends, as you'll see later, you have enough. Now we start to place the jumps, the foam takeoffs. You can start putting them in now. These will go in place, lined right up. You just snug them right up against the jumps tight. And you want to try and keep them as tight as you can so that when you put the cover, you don't have a crease in there, because ultimately when you're done, you want to have it nice and smooth. So you just make sure you make them as tight as you can. Now, once you have those in place, you're going to tie these off first, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
right
Now we come around back here with the ropes that are pre-tied, and what you do is you could start on each end. You just pull everything snug and you make sure that your tarp is under there, nice and snug here. And then you'll proceed to come right down the line and tie these up for the bottom. You want to make sure they're snug when you're pulling the bottom. You pull it fairly snug, but yet not too much, because you don't want to pull it down all the way, because you still have to, you'll tighten the rest when you do the top, but you want to snug them up nice on the bottom so that when you pull the top tight, you don't pull it out. Little line. this is your small strip again that I spoke about, the two different strips. If you've done this right, the edge of this takeoff foam here would line up with this edge of the white, so that when you fold it up, this would be roughly ground level there. So before you go too far, you could check yourself and make sure that you didn't pull it too much that way or whatever. It doesn't have to be exact, but you're shooting for this bottom edge to be at the turf line here. So it should line up with that. And now next step, this requires 4 people here, as you'll see in a moment, because what we do is the guys in the front will feed the rope down that we have in between the brush here, and Rob and myself will be in the back. You have 2 guys in the back. You work as a team, and you pull it. You just pull this down here, and we'll tie it off later, but we get it pulled down here for now, so that we have them all pulled down snug. And then,
Yep. Pull.
yeah, you can pull it tight. It's gotta. There you go, because you want to pull that tarp down. There you go. Yeah.
So don't tie it.
No, don't tie it yet. We get it pulled down. Excuse me, snug down. He'll feed you another one, and you kind of do the same thing. You want to pull it tight so that you're stretching the tarp nice and tight, wrinkle free, hopefully, is your goal. The rope that we use is just plain old clothesline. We find it to work the best. It's very pliable and strong enough, easy to work with. Really doesn't matter, but matter preference, but
Yeah, right there is good.
and it's better to start at one end as we're doing. You'll notice you're starting at one end and working down like that if you can.
Hold on, come on.
You need help there, Robin? No. You want to do this one here? Okay. Alrighty. Good? Come on, you've done this before.
No, never. No, serious, I never done that.
No. It's Tomas has done it the longest. He does it every year.
I can see, he's trying to show me. I said, I'm no good at knots at all. I'm horrible.
That just takes a little.
I even go fishing with my uncle. He's like, oh yeah, here's how you tie this knot. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. You got to do it for me. It's not for me.
And we've got some on the other side. Beautiful, huh? true. Warmer, you're got to come in the middle a little. That's, yeah, that's all right. That's pretty nice. So we should be 1, 2, 3. Should be right here, Tomas. If we did this thing right. That's, yeah, that's. You just kick that out a little bit. That's. A little more. Yeah, yes, that's good, Warmer. That's pretty nice. Oh my gosh. Hello? Okay. Okay, yeah, maybe 10, 15 minutes I'll be done with Warmer. I can chase him over.